guys, it's your girl Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, rocking with theantidote.com, bringing you another exclusive interview right here from the Spanish Moon.
And this is Locksmith representing Richmond, California. But right now, I'm chilling in Baton Rouge.
Oh yes, that's right. Got to catch up with Mr. Locksmith. He's coming down for the Louder Than Words tour, performing tonight. You guys are awesome artist in itself, a wonderful personality. But I won't spend too much time on his resume. I'll let him break that down for you guys. Now, I know that the Louder Than Words tour is something that you've been doing for a while now. So far as planning goes and executing, how many cities have you actually gotten to hit so far?
This will be city number 10. So we've been,
nice.
we started in California, made our way all the way through, Southwest,
Very
and now
nice.
we here, in Louisiana. But it's been great, man. It's been an awesome experience. It's my first nationwide headlining tour.
Oh, very nice. So
Yeah.
you get the thrill and the excitement. It's kind of like being able to get that fresh start and doing it from scratch all over again.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've toured. I've toured a little bit on the West Coast. I toured a little bit on the East Coast. I've opened up for some acts and stuff here and there through the South and up north and north. But this is my first time as Locksmith headlining, going across the whole country. So it's very, it's just exciting to get out and be able to touch as many, many ears and people as possible. So yeah.
Very dope. Now I know that music started for you a long time ago. You were actually able to be influenced by a family member.
Yeah.
Your sister was actually an artist in her own right, and she made music.
Yeah.
Let's kind of talk about that. Let's talk about when you first decided that music was kind of going to be your creative outlet.
Well, like I said, I had a sister. She went by MC Spice. You know what I mean, like that early '90s kind of thing. And she was really, she was really dope. I was more into basketball growing up as a kid. Like that was my love. That was what I was like focused on. Like, I'm gonna be a basketball player
in the gym all day.
You can feel me on that, right?
All day long. Y'all know me. You can catch me right now.
Yeah, I was, definitely an athlete. But when I was like in school, junior high, in high school, my sister was doing shows, opening up for people like E40, going overseas.
Nice.
She was courted by record labels like Eazy-E, doing performances with Nas, in the same, opening up for Digital Underground and that kind of stuff as a kid. But I didn't really know
think anything of it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, my sister's dope. She could actually rap and sing, and music was the furthest thing. I always loved music, but it wasn't something I thought I would be able to do.
Secondary for you.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I love that. And then, as I, graduated from high school, went to college, I started really getting like just my appreciation for music really grew, and I fell in love with like hip hop. And then I was like, oh, I want to try this, but it always started with me just loving the art form.
Nice.
And then over time that developed into, hey, people like this. You know what I mean? Maybe I could make a career out of it.
Very nice. So knowing that music was something that was secondary for you, and Big Sis kind of opened the door and kind of opened your eyes and perspective.
Yeah.
Do you find that your parents were really supportive in the ideals of music?
Yes, absolutely. Because first of all, they supported her initially, and she was really talented. Like I said, she toured overseas, but she, opted to focus more on family. She got married, had a kid.
Understandable.
You know what I mean? So then when I was coming up, I actually went to her first and played her my first demo, and she was just like, and she was just like, yo, this is really good. I was like, really? I was just playing to her because she did music, and I wanted to let her hear some, because there was no MySpace then. There was no Facebook. There was no Twitter. Like, this was before all of that.
No
I was
outside feedback.
Yeah, just so I had to get feedback from the barbershop, from my sister.
Neighborhood.
So I took it to her. She was like, I like this. And then as I started taking it more serious, let my mom and my dad hear. And then when I wanted to actually consider it as a career, they were very supportive. You know what I mean?
Very nice.
To this day, my father is my business partner. He's very supportive. And, I really appreciate my parents for that.
That's really dope. I think a lot of artists don't have that support system, which kind of moves them away from actually taking it on a career basis seriously. So I think it's very cool that even from an earlier age, your parents are like, hey, go for it. If this is something you love.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to say it was that easy, because I did have to show them that I was serious about it. You know what I mean? So I honestly didn't really come to them about anything like that until I didn't really ask them for help until I was doing a lot on my own, and then they offered their assistance.
Gotcha. They saw
like, yo, I see you're taking this serious, and and I did show them that, hey, I'm serious. I finished college. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was just like, so when they say like, okay, you finished school, but this is what you're choosing to do.
Of all the things.
Yeah. So they was like, okay, maybe this is serious. And then when they see me like doing stuff and having some early on success,
right,
they were like, okay, this is I want to support this. Yeah,
this is what he's doing, and we're gonna make sure.
And I'm like that with everything. I like to show people that I'm serious on my own, and I feel like they'll take you seriously.
Very much
even
so.
Family members, even close friends.
Yeah, and a lot of people kind of prejudge your work ethic based off of the actual outcome. They don't really see when you're working. They start to see the success that you reap from it. So I can definitely understand
It's
that.
human nature. That's
right.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you have a couple of projects that are actually out right now.
Yeah.
So we can kind of just talk about your process. When you're in the studio, do you kind of write as you go? Is it more so I listen to a beat and the words just come to me? Or do you really have a writing style?
It just all depends. Like I was just talking about, I was just talking to one of the artists here, the homie Marcel, that I was like, he was like, what's your process? And I was like, I've never written, I don't write any lyrics down.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? It all comes from just, because I never liked sitting in the recording booth and having to read a piece of paper or read a phone or anything like that.
It's almost like repetitious to the point where you kind of mess up.
I don't like that. I just don't like that feeling. I just don't feel free.
Right. You like it to be more natural.
I like it to be more natural. And then I learned that early on, like, because at first I did used to write my lyrics.
Gotcha.
And I had horrible handwriting. I didn't like it. And when I was sitting in the booth, stand in the booth, I would be sitting there writing, and then I would always find myself putting it to the side, and I would just kind of like let it go. I kind of already had memorized it once I wrote it. So what I did is I would start, I would write the verses out and then memorize them. So when I would go to the studio,
it'd be easier.
I would just be able to record it, and then over time I would actually start writing it in my head.
Very nice.
Yeah, so I would just listen to the beat repeatedly, and then over time I just could do it fairly. It become like second nature.
I think that's really cool. I know a lot of people, either they write and have a hard time doing that free verse, that freestyle, that natural, just what I feel and what I think comes to mind. And then you have those individuals that really can't get in the booth without writing, without being able to go, hey, this is my process and this is how I'm going to lay it down.
It's not freestyle. I'm not freestyling.
Right. It's a structure to it.
It's a structure to it. I'm structuring. I'm writing it and structuring it in my head.
So you don't have to.
But I still have the freedom when I get in the booth to
tweak it as you go.
Tweak it and let it just be free, because I feel like whatever happens in the booth, whatever comes out, is the way it was meant to be. Yeah.
Very nice. I love the energy. I love the fact that you pride yourself on being so natural, because you can actually hear that in the music.
Thank you.
You can hear the authenticness, the enthusiasm, and the wordplay. I love the structure behind a lot of your music. Didn't get an opportunity to listen to much of it this past week, but since we've been doing promo on the tour, I've decided to check you out, and I love the fact that you have a lot of double entendre. You actually spend a lot of time telling a story.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think a lot of artists get so caught up in creating club style music or what the radios would play. I love the fact that you actually make your audience think, and you have to kind of listen to a few of your songs a couple of times to get the true intention behind it, and I think that's so dope.
Thank you.
Now, outside of your sister, if you had to list anybody as an influence growing up, or somebody that kind of helped structure your style of music, who would that be?
Well, I always, at an early age, like I said, my sister was rapping, but my brother and my sister, my older brother and sister, my sister was more into like West Coast rap, so it was like a lot of like NWA, Eazy-E, you know what I mean, Ice Cube. That was where that came from. Then my older brother was more into like EPMD, Boogie Down Productions, Big Daddy Kane. Like he was more into that stuff. So I kind of got.
You got the best of both
I didn't even realize that was what was making an impression on me. But I was getting. So those were kind of like the first rap tapes, songs that I heard.
Very nice.
Was what they were playing. And then when I got like into high school and in college, I was more so drawn. I would say I fell in love when I heard Nas.
That's I love
like
Nas too.
Yeah, that was like when I heard Illmatic and It Was Written. Those were the albums that was like, yo. I had no intention of being a rapper, but that was like, yo, this is really poetic. I want to try to do something like this, And that was the very first, like, I guess, inspiration for me to actually try to write a rap.
Yeah, I think that's really cool to have Nas as an influence, because it plays into that poetic structure and that intellectual growth as an artist as well. Now, again, I know that you're working on a lot of projects right now. You have something that you've been in and out of the studio on that you're actually looking to release this summer, June. Do you have an estimated date yet?
Yes, the name of the project is called No Question. It's produced by Apollo Brown from Detroit. He produced the whole EP, and it comes out June 15th. And we had been talking for a while to connect and do something together, and finally it worked out right. I flew out to Detroit, recorded the whole thing there with him, and I'm really excited, man. I think it's a new direction for my music, and I'm excited for it.
Now, do you have any features? I know that he's the only producer, but artist-wise,
there's no features. It's just me and Apollo Brown.
No question.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Now, having the opportunity to actually go up to Detroit and being able to actually get a different viewpoint as producers go, did you find that sound made you or pushed you outside of your normal style?
Oh yeah, the music definitely is more soulful. It's definitely more so classic,
nice
hip hop, and the music, like I was telling some other folks that it just basically, the lyrics wrote themselves.
Very nice.
You know what I mean? Just following the landscape of the music and the production, it basically just wrote itself. So it was really refreshing for me because I produce as well.
Oh, very nice.
And
so you kind of know.
Yeah. So but to have somebody be able who I respect and who I think is it's just obviously like a modern kind of legend to do that. It was relaxing to just be able to write. You know
Very
what I mean?
nice. Now, how long did it take? Was it more so a couple of days that you went out, weeks?
We did it in like 4 days.
Very nice.
Yeah, I went out there on Monday and left on Friday. But like I said, it really came natural.
That's very dope, and I think a lot of artists have a hard time finding producers that can push them outside of the box, but also encourage them to be their true selves. A lot of times the production kind of dictates the type of music.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool when you can take the differences in production and still be true to your original artistry.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, with No Questions coming out in June 15th, you guys, make sure you look for the exclusives with the antidote. Make sure you look for the video drops and the EP itself. I'm sure that'll be able to be found on all major streaming sites.
The first single, the first single is the title track, No Question.
Nice.
Is on all platforms, Apple, Spotify, anywhere that music is streamed, you can hear it.
Check that out, you guys. Don't sleep on it. Very, very good music, quality production, quality lyrics. You will enjoy it, I promise you. Now, 2018, you have the tour going on right now, the Louder Than Words tour, and we briefly touched up on it and the amount of cities that you're touching. Coming into closing your tour, what else are you going to be doing outside of promotion for the new EP? Can we expect you to hit different venues? Are you going to be getting on the stage to perform for that new EP, or is everything kind of coming together as we speak?
Yeah, I'm going to Canada.
Oh, very nice.
I'm touring the entire country of Canada.
How exciting is that?
Yeah, so we'll start this actually right after this tour is done.
Straight into the next.
Have it like a week off, and then boom, it's right to Canada and perform the music for everybody up north. So yeah.
That is very exciting to be able to take your music on an international level and still be able to just be true to yourself, knowing
Absolutely.
that you develop fan bases all over the place.
Yeah.
Look, I'm jealous, you guys. I want to go to Canada.
Canada is beautiful, especially I've been to Canada before, but I've never been in the summer.
So it's going to be a whole different experience
because I've been in like the fall and the winter, and it's freezing. Obviously.
You don't get to do
But to go in June and July, I mean, it's like it's like beach weather. It's beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah, the cities are beautiful. So I'm looking forward to to seeing Canada in the summer.
And just being able to experience it.
Absolutely.
Now, you can briefly tell them where to follow you on social media. Let them know website-wise where they can stay in touch for the EP.
Yeah, everything is on iamlock.com.
Okay.
So my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, everything is connected to iamlock.com. If you're on Instagram, it's DA Locksmith. Twitter, it's DA Locksmith. Facebook, it's I Am Locksmith. YouTube is I Am Locksmith, but everything is on iamlock.com and theantidote.com.
Yes, make sure you tune in, guys. We have all the exclusive information from Mr. Locksmith. We will be debuting the EP when he gets ready for you guys to hear the new singles coming out for No Questions. It's been an absolute pleasure, to get the opportunity to sit down and pick your brain.
Yeah.
I love to be able to see the differences in the culture and how hip-hop always evolves itself back to the structure of originality.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really hard for a lot of people to, again, tell their story and still be true to the type of music that they want to produce.
Yeah.
I think
that's the kind
really,
of music
really
that I've always gravitated towards.
Very nice. That means that you're a critical thinker. You're a person that understands that you can express yourself without having to move towards the masses. I think a lot of artists have a problem with that. Now, I'll ask you one more question before we get ready to wrap up. So far as the culture of hip-hop, if anything were missing, in your opinion, just overall, what would that be, and what would you do, or what could be done to change it?
Maybe just a little bit more balance.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I think balance is necessary in any aspect,
Very much so.
of life. Just like balance. Like I feel like hip hop has grown so much that there's enough room and enough space for everybody's voice, for everybody's perspective. And sometimes because of whatever may be going on, one perspective may be the dominant, but that's not the only perspective. There are layers and there are layers and layers of perspectives, and when you have more perspectives, then you have balance.
Very much so.
You know, so if I have a voice, he has a voice, she has a voice, they have a voice, everybody has a voice, and that's what's going to help always keep that balance in hip hop. So I would love to just see overall balance in the hip hop and the music industry, and I think it's there. I think one of the beauties of technology and the internet
is that you get to create that balance.
Yeah, because you don't have to wait for anything. You can if you're into rappers that rap about teddy bears, I'm sure if you
there's something out there.
Somebody there that's just, you know what I mean? So whatever's your preference of music, of sound, there's somebody out there. You know what I mean? So you can find it with the technology, with the platforms, and hopefully that will always keep the balance in hip hop.
Very nice. You guys, make sure you think about that. Balance in hip hop is being true to who you are, producing your music, because there's a fan for every artist. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Locksmith, for sitting down with us. You guys stay tuned. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the exclusives. He is hard at work. He did not come to play, and his resume is filling up as we speak. It's your girl, Tubbi of the Nerdy Bird site, coming to you live thanks to theantidote.com, and we're signing out.